إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، أرسله الله رحمة للعالمين، فبشر وأنذر وبلغ رسالة الله إليه حق التبليغ، صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اهتدى بهداه واقتفى أثره إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. قال الله تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال جل في علاه: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إخوة الإيمان، أهنئكم بقدوم شهر رمضان المبارك، شهر أوله رحمة وأوسطه مغفرة وآخره عتق من النيران. من حرم اغتنام هذه الفرصة العظيمة، فرصة الرحمة والمغفرة والعتق من النيران، فهو محروم بحق. لماذا رمضان؟ ولماذا الجوع؟ لأن النفس إذا شبعت تمردت، وإذا اعتادت الشبع تبلد الذهن على النعمة وقيمتها. فإن من أعظم أسباب وحكمة هذا الشهر استشعار نعمة الله، استشعار ما أنعم الله به عليك، مما قد يتبلد الذهن عليه، فلا يؤدي العبد شكر نعمة ربه عليه. وفيه تذكير بأن هذه الدنيا دنيا نصب وتعب وشقاء، وأننا في هذه الدنيا نعيش مؤقتا إلى أن نلقى الله عز وجل، فإما دار نعيم أبدي وإما دار شقاء. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى لنا ولكم العافية. هذه من ناحية. الأمر الآخر، أن هذا الشهر شهر مواساة وتذكر لفقراء حالهم كحال الصائم، ليس عندهم من الطعام ما يسد رمقهم. من يستشعر بحال هؤلاء إلا من استشعر حقيقة الجوع؟ فهذا الجوع الذي يصيبنا في رمضان في أثناء الصيام يجعلنا أكثر مواساة والتفاتا ورحمة لهؤلاء الذين يعيشون حياة صعبة. هذا ما أحببت أن أبينه في مزايا هذا الشهر الكريم. كذلك تضييق مجاري الشيطان في العبد، لأن النفس اعتادت على الطعام والشراب، ومن مداخل الشيطان في النفس، مدخل الشيطان إلى النفس هو من خلال هذا الطعام والشراب. فإذا جاعت النفس وسلسل الشيطان كان في ذلك تمكينا للعبد أن يصلح نفسه، أن يهذب نفسه. ولذلك يقول الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم: إذا دخل رمضان فتحت أبواب الجنة وغلقت أبواب النار وصفدت الشياطين. وقيل: يا باغي الخير أقبل ويا باغي الشر أقصر. فهذا هو المراد من الصيام، ليس فقط تجويع العبد أبدا. ويجب أن نفرق بين الهدف وبين الوسيلة. الوسيلة في هذا الشهر هو الامتناع عن الطعام والشراب، الغاية هو تحقيق الامتناع عما حرم الله، وجعل الإنسان أكثر صبرا على طاعة الله، لأن الصبر صبران: صبر على طاعة الله وصبر عن معصية الله. صبر على طاعة الله وصبر عن معصية الله. فمن صام هذا الشهر وأدرك غايته صامه حق صيامه. ومن ظن أن الصيام فقط هو الإمساك عن الطعام والشراب فاته الحكمة من هذا الصيام، وهو الامتناع عن قول الزور وعمل الزور وشهادة الزور. ولذلك قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: من لم يدع قول الزور والعمل به فليس لله حاجة في أن يدع طعامه وشرابه. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه وتوبوا إليه، إن ربي هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله، وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. I praise Allah who deserves all praises, and I bear witness that there is no deity ever worthy of worship except Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his slave and messenger. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon him and upon those who followed his way, his companions, his family, and those who followed his way until Yawm al-Qiyamah. Dear brothers, I recommend myself and yourselves in fearing Allah the Almighty, as He said, O you who have believed, fear Allah as should be feared, and never die but while you are in the state of being submissive to Him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا. O you who have believed, fear Allah and speak words of rectitude. يصلح لكم أعمالكم. Allah then will reform your acts. ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم, and then He'll forgive you your sins. ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Whoever obeyed Allah and His Messenger had already attained the greatest success. Dear brothers, we would like to congratulate you for the coming of a dear, endeared guest, a beloved guest. The hypocrites, they may welcome him. They say, do we have a choice? But the attitude of the believer, he says, that's a chance. Chance of what? a chance of mercy, forgiveness, freeing the person from hellfire. This is a chance. And among Allah's seasons of mercy is that He prescribes and issues these kinds of seasons of forgiveness. Circumstances, chances of forgiveness that we should be taken advantage of. The real deprived and failed person is the one who failed to achieve in this month Allah's mercy, Allah's forgiveness, Allah's freeing from hell fire. That is why the Prophet ﷺ said, if the month of Ramadan had entered, then the gates of hell will be closed, the gates of Jannah will be opened, and the devils will be chained. And it will be said, O doer of good, O seeker of good, come, prepare. And O seeker of evil, refrain from the evil. We may ask, what is the wisdom behind fasting? Is it only to make us feeling hungry? Just to refrain ourselves from food and drink in a year which is the longest year among the months of Ramadan that had preceded. It's a day wherein the hours of that day are almost 16 and a half hours. It's not easy. But the reward goes with the difficulty. More difficulty, more reward. Be patient. This life is a life of patience, because this life is a life of nasab, fatigue, tiredness. That's its nature. O seekers of the other life, be patient here, because there is no temporary life. There is no fatigue in that life. There is no concern in that life. There is no sorrow, no grieveness, nothing. It's a life of happiness and pleasure, utmost eternal pleasure. But you have to make some efforts in this life. What is the wisdom? The wisdom behind fasting is not only to deprive you from food and drink, and whoever thought that the main goal of Ramadan is to deprive you from eating and drinking, food and drink, he did not know the goal of Ramadan. Refraining from food and drink is the means, it's not the goal. The goal of refraining from food and drink is to help you refraining yourself from the bad words, from the evil manners. That's the goal. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever does not refrain from the evil speech and the evil act, Allah is of no need for his fasting. There is no need for the fasting of such person who did not understand the goals of fasting. That is why we can see people sleeping the whole day and they're awake the whole night watching special programs, so-called special Ramadan programs. And we know for sure that there are many celebrities and very bad program, and they call it the program of Ramadan. Special movies on the honor of Ramadan. So what is the wisdom behind Ramadan? Breaking your soul. Because when your soul is always satisfied, it becomes rebellious, not obedient. And you'll be finding difficulty in disciplining yourself and refraining from evil. Didn't the Prophet say that the devils will be chained? Yes. The devil has access, they have access and their port to you is the port of eat and drink. So when the soul is hungry, that access of the devil through that soul to you is blocked. And the devil himself is chained. Doesn't mean he's chained, that means paralyzed. Being chained doesn't mean paralyzed. He can do, but not as usual. So he's weaker to you, especially when this access of food and drink is malfunctioned. It's not working now. So this is a chance for you to reform yourself, to become after Ramadan more resistant to that evil who's struggling and striving and making jihad, exerting jihad against each one of us. Unfortunately, we don't know, we don't really remember ample of times that there is that kind of creature that Allah created is struggling. He's not going to leave you. Not for the one moment until you die. So we have to struggle against him. So you have to know that the means is to refrain from the food and drink, and the goal is to refrain from the evil talk and the evil habits. And you can see those spoiled children. When your soul became spoiled, you give it always what it desires, it becomes rebellious. Just like the spoiled children you see. They're the same. Also among the wisdoms of fasting, to remind you that this life is a life of nasab, shaqa, misery, fatigue, tiredness. So you'll be longing, looking forward to living a life that consists no fatigue, no misery, no regret, no sadness, no depression, eternal happiness. For you is whatever you desire. And with us, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is more than what you imagine to desire. That is the life of the hereafter. Let's recite with you these verses. Beautiful verses. إن المتقين في جنات وعيون ادخلوها بسلام آمنين ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل إخوانا على سرر متقابلين لا يمسهم فيها نصب وما هم منها بمخرجين نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم وأن عذابي هو العذاب الأليم. Wallahi, so beautiful verses. Very impressive. Indeed, the righteous will be within gardens and springs. Enter you in peace, safe and secure. And we have removed whatever from their breasts, any kind of resentment. So they become brothers, on throne, facing each another. No fatigue will ever touch them therein. Not from it will they ever be removed. Tell my servants that I am the all-forgiving, all-merciful, and that my punishment is the ever-painful punishment. Beautiful verse. Also another tremendous kind of description for Jannah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هذا ذكر, this is a reminder. وَإِنَّ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ لَحُسْنَ مَآبٍ. And indeed for the righteous is a good place to return. جَنَّاتِ عَدْنٍ مُفَتَّحَةً لَهُمُ الْأَبْوَابِ. Gardens of perpetual residence, which doors will be always open. متكئين فيها يدعون فيها بفاكهة كثيرة وشراب. Reclining within them, They'll call therein for abundant fruit and drink. وَعِنْدَهُمْ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ أَتْرَابٌ. And with them will be women, limiting their glances and of equal age. They're not they're not old, they're not very young, in the middle age. هذا ما توعدون ليوم الحساب. This is what you are promised for the day of judgment. This is Allah's promise to you. إن هذا لرزقنا ما له من نفاد. This is indeed our provision. For it there is no depletion, there is no end. It's endless kind of reward, with endless kind of life. هذا, whereas, on the other hand, وَإِنَّ لِلطَّاغِينَ لَشَرَّ مَآبٍ. And for the tyrant and transgressors, the most evil place to dwell in. جَهَنَّمَ يَصْلَوْنَهَا فَبِئْسَ الْمِهَادُ. Jahannam, which they will enter to burn, and wretched is the resting place. هَذَا فَلْيَذُوقُوهُ حَمِيمٌ وَغَسَّاقٌ وَآخَرُ مِنْ شَكْلِهِ أَزْوَاجٌ. These are really impressive verses. I'm not going to recite them all, but I would love that you read, especially from the middle of chapter Sad until the end of it. Tremendous verses, very lovely verses. So Ramadan is the month of consolation, muwasah. It reminds you, when your soul is poor, hungry and thirsty, it reminds you different kinds of people among your brothers. They're fasting not because of Ramadan, but this is their life. They're fasting because they have no means. They have nothing to eat, nothing to drink. And who can feel the consolation with those people? Who can be sympathetic to with those people except one who had experienced hunger and thirst like them? But as for those who never experienced hunger, they can never be merciful to those who are hungry and thirsty. But there are many things in fasting we have to remind. Number one, the fasting should be purely done for the sake of Allah. Not only fasting, everything. Don't ever mix anyone in your worship to Allah, because this is shirk. And among the most important reasons why Allah prescribed fasting, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Fasting was prescribed to you as was prescribed to those who before you, that you may attain God-fearing. Because the worship is the generator for God-fearing. You need the God-fearing, because the Jannah is the reward of those who fear Allah, who feared Allah in life. So you need something to generate that God-fearing in you, to elevate it. The worship. And the worship should be done for the sake of Allah only. And you have to know that the devil will always struggle in order to let you associate someone or something with Allah in your worship to Him. Be careful of the steps of the devil. So the principle and the goal of this month is to accustom you having the good manners. Good manners. What about the good manners? The Prophet described the good manners that it is the heaviest thing in the scale of good deeds. The heaviest. And the Prophet ﷺ said that the man reaches with his good manners the high grade of the one who keeps fasting and drinking, just having good manners. And the closest one to me, that's what the Prophet said, ﷺ, the closest one to me among you, and the most beloved one to me among you, are those among you who have best manners. So we need to improve our manners. Why? Each one of us have the wish to be the closest to the Prophet ﷺ at the Day of Judgment. And this is something you can't achieve but by good action. And the best action to do is to have these good manners. The other thing is to accustom the person seeking halal. Because there are people who cannot be patient. Some people say, I'm going to work in the bank 1 year only. I get because they have the highest salary. I can collect money within 1 year, and then I establish myself for marriage, etc. Then I repent and change my life. So he furnished and established his life with haram. Yet there are people who do not have the fear to eat riba, to drown themselves in riba. The house is established by riba, the car established by riba, and then if they want to eat, is there a halal food somewhere? I was in Qatar last month, and 3 guys were passing by, and they were asking me, is there any halal restaurant here? I don't know, as if they are in Moscow. They are in a Muslim country. So they asked me, is there any halal mosque here, halal food here? And I saw him smoking. I said, what about the one in your hand? Is it halal? He said, no, it's makruh. I said, do you say Bismillah before you smoke this makruh? Do you say Alhamdulillah when you finish smoking it? He said, no. I said, Alhamdulillah, you answered yourself by yourself. So regarding food, halal, they should be looking for halal. But other things, they are drawn with riba. So in this month, it teaches you how to be patient. Alhamdulillah. Until now, none of you had put 2 stones to stop the feeling of hunger as our beloved Prophet ﷺ did. None of you have done it. And we keep trying to find a way, even if it may be haram or there's shubha, doubt whether it is or it's not, in order to expand, to extend their luxurious life. Now, the question is, if a person established himself with this riba, will Allah be blessing his life after that? No. So the person should be accustoming himself in halal and avoiding. You have to in this life, especially in this country, you have to avoid, to put a barrier of halal between you and the expected haram. This is what we call it al-wara'. In this month as well, last thing I remind you, charity, sadaqah, donate, be generous, as the Prophet ﷺ was extremely generous in this month. And he was extremely generous, and his generosity was described as the speedy wind. Why? He was so happy, because he had a great significance in revising the Quran with Jibreel. And the last year he fasted, he revised the Quran twice with Jibreel ﷺ. So also, this is the month of donation, consolation, and recitation of the Quran. Because the month of Ramadan is the month of the descendants of all the books of Allah on earth. Suhuf Musa, Suhuf Ibrahim were revealed at the 1st of Ramadan. Also the Zabur of Dawood at the 6th of Ramadan. The Torah, the 18th of Ramadan. Also the Injil. The Quran at the 24th of Ramadan. 24th day, the night of the 25th. It was revealed. And this hadith is authentic, narrated by At-Tabarani authentically. So this is the month of Ramadan. So you have to exceed the recitation of the Quran in Ramadan. It's the month of Quran. Ramadan is the month of Quran. Ramadan is the month of donation. Ramadan is the month of mercy from Allah unto you. So remember to be merciful on those who have no means, those hungry and needy people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us and you and all the Muslims their fasting and donation, and approve their fasting and make it for them a month of victory, a month of mercy, a month of forgiveness, and a month of freeing the Muslims from hellfire. هذا وصلوا وسلموا على أكرم نبي وأشرف هاد فقد أمركم ربكم عز وجل بذلك فقال جل من قائل عليم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وآل محمد كما باركت على آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم إنا نسألك فعل الخيرات وترك المنكرات وحب المساكين وأن تغفر لنا وترحمنا وإذا أردت بعبادك فتنة فاقبضنا إليك غير مفتونين في ديننا. اللهم إنا نسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والسلامة من كل إثم والغنيمة من كل بر والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار. اللهم أصلح نفوسنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها إنك خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم أصلحنا وأصلح شبابنا وبناتنا أبناءنا وبناتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلهم هداة مهتدين. اللهم اجعلهم هداة مهتدين. اللهم اجعلهم هداة مهتدين. اللهم ثبتهم على دينك. اللهم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبهم على طاعتك يا رب العالمين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. اللهم فاغفر لنا مغفرة من عندك وارحمنا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وأقم الصلاة.